Oh, it's
there we
in
go.
fast motion.
Yes. So I recorded this before, and now we're just watching it back.
Oh, there's a squirrel. Sorry. This is one of the ones that you actually did for
For a different thumbnail.
For a thumbnail.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So this is Luke's favorite video game character, Donkey Kong. I actually...
Oh my god! I forgot that this is you doing this again. Where you consistently talk about Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I for real want to hear what your problem with Donkey Kong 64 is.
It's not a good game.
What
it's
makes,
bad.
In what universe can you say that Donkey Kong 64 is a bad game?
It doesn't
while
work.
fully ascribing to the Link time flute fandom.
What the fuck? The Link time flute?
The flute of time. Or Ocarina of Time. Little Link and his time flute. Why is that a good game, but Donkey Kong 64 is not?
I legitimately didn't know what you were talking about. I've never heard somebody... the time flute. All I remember about that game is playing it at my friend's house, and the 2-player thing was a fucking mess, and it looked like shit.
Well, all those games look like shit. You can't, factor that into
No,
part
but
of your
this
judgment.
looks... No, okay, Time Flute Link and the boy adventure of Time Flute does not look bad.
It looks way worse
It
than
looks
Donkey Kong
aged.
64 does.
It looks aged.
No.
Are you trying... You better not be ranting at me right now.
I can go into a rant. I can rant if you want.
I think we really... Do you have a copy of that game?
On the N64,
Yeah.
actually, I don't have it.
Okay.
One of my siblings, I don't know if Joey or Sarah has it. One of them have
If it doesn't go to the virtual console thing, we'll have to find it. But
Yeah.
So we're watching your art. This is... So why?
Why my art?
I know. I want to know how you got to this, because last time you told me that you pick a specific feature, and then you use that feature, you extrapolate, you expound upon that feature, and make it a funny nonsense
okay.
thing.
So the idea with this one was I wanted to draw Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong together, because this was after we played with Joey, and there was
Right.
one of the games we played. He played as Donkey, I played as Diddy,
Right.
and so I wanted to draw a thumbnail featuring both of them. And I thought the funniest way to do that would be to mash them up full on Mind Flayer, Cronenbergian monster style. So I just started by shoving their faces together and making them share one eyeball, because that is creepier than having two heads.
And the fun fact question here is, how many buttholes appeared on this drawing? I already know the answer. I checked. I checked before.
None. Zero buttholes.
I actually think that's true. I
Yeah.
don't think you drew a butthole on this one, but
It
I
is
also
true.
think that you did it to try to make me seem wrong.
I went back through all of the thumbnails after that, and only a select few featured a butthole, and all of them were in the correct butthole location
Right.
relative to the rest of the body.
So, tell me about the artistic theories you're using right now. Did you take art classes? Did you do all that shit, or is this all just random?
I did a little bit, yeah. I mean, beyond what you would get in middle school, taking art as an
Meaning you
elective.
took art in high school?
No, I did take 1 or 2 art classes outside of school that were, short, 5 or 6 week long classes where you go once a week.
And which one of them taught you to draw slimy butthole characters for everything?
Sadly, there are not enough teachers who show young 12-year-old boys how to draw slimy buttholes. So this is all me, baby.
Why did it have a heroin needle sticking out of its arm?
I thought there needed to be some explanation as to why it looked like this.
Oh, okay. And that's what you
just
decided?
something being injected into it made
Yeah,
sense.
but
to me.
I guess the implication of the tie being... Well, I guess...
Oh, that was the other thing. When I was drawing it, I realized it didn't have a neck to put the tie on.
Yeah.
So I figured the tie had to be...
go somewhere.
Yeah, wrapped around the arm. And then I thought, it'd be funny if the tie was being used like you'd usually use a belt to
How soon before or after this did you masturbate?
I took a couple breaks during.
Or do you... Do you want me to do the classic, what drug was he on when he drew this?
No. I
This is all you. This is
all
pure
my silver mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh no. Okay. I was like, it looked like you were gonna run out of paper space. So how long does this actually take you to draw one of these when you're recording it? I knew you recorded this as a test.
It depends. This one took a little bit longer. There were a lot of details and lots of drooping and sweating and whatnot.
Drooping and sweating.
So I think it took about an hour to draw and then about an hour to color, which you'll see in a few minutes.
Tell me about your new. Oh my god! What are you, me?
And so then there are things like this where I didn't have room to draw another full hand, so I just cut his hand in half and made little moans sticking out. Not as a creative decision, but as a logistical one.
I realized I was nodding on something where we're only voices. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's sort of butthole-esque. That's
It's
the
a
one.
belly button.
Right, but the way you drew it, it was protruding.
It looks like a belly button.
No.
I think that looks.
That looks like my
exactly
butthole.
a belly button.
What about
when?
tell me. So okay, the reason, and this is legitimate because this reminds me of the other thing. Mm-hmm. One of the first things that you showed me when we first were hanging out was your weird notebook of drawings that, ironically, given the joke from before, you did draw while you were on acid. Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. And
I was tripping. So. Part of me wants to save this for another episode because I do want to do.
Well, don't show any of the pictures then.
I show you the pictures and we talk about it. But the brief story behind that is, I was at a music festival with a friend.
What music festival?
It was Shaky Knees in Atlanta.
Yep.
In 2015, I think it was, and it was an awesome lineup that year. I think both of us had just graduated from undergrad, or I did at least.
You were flying high.
So
you were living the dream.
We went to Shaky Knees. The headliner the first night was the Avett Brothers. The headliner the second night was the Strokes, and the third night was Tame Impala. And there were also the Pixies were there, the Mountain Goats, Dr. Dog,
everybody who's everybody
show
in Shaky Knees.
Lots of. It was a really good lineup that year. Neutral Milk Hotel, Mac DeMarco. So a lot of the bands that was our big overlap that had enough of the weird and 90s grunge scene that he liked and enough of what I liked as well.
But, the old man music that you liked.
Yeah.
I bought the wrong mic stand, dude. Fuck me. Anyways.
We went to Shaky Knees and he brought some acid. And the night before, he said, "Oh shit, did you bring a notebook to draw in by chance?" And I said, "No." So he goes, "All right, we got to go to a drugstore, CVS or something, and get some notebooks." I said, "Why do we need that?"
Does he draw too?
No.
Okay.
No. And
he
I'll
just
show you
wanted
some of his as well. Because
I think it would be nice for you. I think it would be a nice friendship thing for you to recreate his drawings.
Actually, I did that with a couple.
I'm saying seriously, you could capture his idea.
Yeah, because he had some good ideas. He had the vision, but he didn't have
the
artistic chops to pull off some of his. Anyways, he said, "You're definitely going to want a notebook. You're going to want to draw." So we went and got a couple of sketchbooks, and the next day, it takes about an hour to kick in, but then sure enough, we just sat down at a tree and started drawing, and then I looked at my watch and it's 4 hours later.
What band was playing? Or you don't remember?
Honestly, I can't really remember who was playing at that time. But anyways, I've shown Luke some of those sketches, and then I've done it a few more times since then, and I just sit and draw for hours. And yeah, it's some of them are really disturbing, some of them are very sweet looking.
I'd give you that.
Yeah.
It was a hell of an introduction because you were very proud of them. And now knowing that was actually, I guess it wasn't that long because I probably met you in would have been 2016.
26? No.
That's when I started my program.
Really?
Yeah. Because I graduated in 2018.
I was going by graduation date, not so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that long afterwards then.
Yeah, okay, that makes it less sad because in my mind, I was thinking that you drew those in high school and then you met some random dude that you thought was cute and you're like, look at these pictures I did. And I was like, cool, dude. No, I was gonna say too. Joking aside, I do think it's funny that without being like formally trained to do this, that you came to it, because it's very strange.
This style?
Well, I mean, it is very. I mean, it is pretty unique from what I can tell, and I'm not an art boy.
So I've mentioned his channel before, but like about 2 years ago or so, I discovered this dude on YouTube who does drawing videos. And I think I've shown you. His name is Struthless. He's this Australian dude, and he'll just take usually a cartoon character. Like he's done Pikachu.
Are they better than yours?
Rick Sanchez, etc. Well, what he does is he'll draw that character in like 9 or 10 different art styles.
Right.
So he chooses a specific artist to mimic in each style. And through watching his videos, there were a couple of artists who I got introduced to whose styles I really liked and started borrowing from in this gross accumulation that became my style. So there are a few who like illustrated for Mad Magazine or did like Garbage Pail Kids and stuff like that, who do like the grotesque looking monstrous caricatures and like lots of oozing and dripping and scabs and all that sort of shit. And there's just something about it that's very funny to me.
You have to name it. What's your style? Slippyism? Slimeism?
Slimeism
What is
pretty
what,
good.
what? Okay, another real question. Do you have a favorite artist? Is that a thing that people have? That's like similar to like having a constellation of bands that people really like.
I have artists who I like who I don't really like draw from their style and using my own or creating, like Andy Warhol, Keith Haring, a lot of those like older
Steve Harrington?
No.
I love
those
the
kind
hat,
of pop
by the
artists.
way.
I like their style a lot, although obviously that's not what I do. I would say that I like the surrealism of folks like Salvador Dali, some of whose paintings I have hanging up here.
Yes.
And
He drew the droopy clock.
he did draw
Look how much
clocks.
art I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm very artistic, Kev.
I believe that one is called The Persistence of Memory.
I thought it was
or something like that.
Maybe. I
But
wanted to say the persistence of time, but maybe that's just because it's a clock. I think I should do one of these episodes where I draw.
Oh, you absolutely should.
And you can teach me. You give me pointers. You can tell me what to draw, and I'll draw it.
And then some of the artists I discovered through this guy's YouTube video, like Basil Wolverton in particular. I'm not exact. That's his actual name.
Basil Wolverton?
Basil Wolverton. Uh-huh.
That's awesome. Wait, I want to see what he draws. Draws? Arts?
Illustrates.
Sorry. Basil Wolverton.
With an O.
That is the coolest name.
Isn't it?
Oh, this is very... Gee, look at the big eyeballs.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, you can see the clear artistic lineage
There's
there.
there's definitely some differences though. Like some of it. He almost gets grosser than you. If it all, well, some of them. That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, so there was one that he has that's just like a person with a bunch of teeth sticking out of them in every direction from all parts of their bodies, and it's disgusting.
I know this is going to make editing this a fucking
So
nightmare.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was something he drew in a national competition to draw the world's ugliest woman, and he won.
Oh my god, I like those. Did I show you? Speaking of art, because this is art. This is almost Von Doodle. Oh no, that's not a good name. Trying to think of another name when it's just art. Did I show you? I'll send you this one so you can fucking put it in.
Right. Yeah, like so we have no idea what's going on in that.
But it's fucking hilarious.
I would hang those up if I could find them, prints of them, and if Louisa would let me, which might be a stretch with the art that I
don't
have hanging up.
Yeah, I feel like some of the things you're gonna get by with. But I don't know if that would fly. Did you see that? You've seen the ghost pictures we have up in our house, right?
Yeah.
And that we bought. We bought 3 more of different ghost pictures so we can hang
By
them.
the same artist? Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I really like those.
Is that going to be your
That's our
artistic through theme in your house?
We have abandoned that idea. Now we've got gig posters. I hang gig posters in my house, and it was like because we started buying them from shows we went to, and then we realized that we missed a bunch.
Yeah.
So
shit. Speaking of which,
what do you got? That's what I was looking at.
yeah,
It
came in today.
It looks really good.
I'm shocked by how good it looks. So this is an album cover that that I designed for a band that has some members that Luke and I used to play with.
I was pretending there was a camera. That's why he's laughing.
They're called Bad Cameo, and
They're good boys.
Commissioned me
good
to
friends.
design the artwork for their most recent album.
Did you do the back too?
I did, yeah.
It really does look very good, and I'm not just saying that.
Well, I'm surprised by how clear it looks, because a design like this, like printing that and making it look good and not muddled and keeping the vibrancy of the colors and all that, is like the company they hired to do it did a good job.
I wish it was a matte finish is the only
Yeah.
thing. But it's
Well,
still super nice.
Yeah,
I didn't buy the vinyl. I wanted to support them, but I didn't.
but not $25.
Not
worth.
$25 worth. Fuck you, Jeff. No, I'm kidding. No, because I still listen to CDs.
Yeah.
I still
Well,
have.
it's the same artwork for the CD
Yeah.
too.
But there's something different about the vinyl. Something about
Yeah.
maybe it might literally just be the size, but vinyl artwork.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Because that's always what I remember going through. I wish that he still had it, and I may have said this before to you, but my dad had a pretty he wasn't like a collector by any means, but he got the stuff that he liked, and he had a pretty good record collection. And that's growing up. That was in my basement, and that's what I listened to first.
Yeah.
And this was when I was like too little to actually put the record on. Like I wasn't tall enough to get to it. Excuse me. But I can't believe you didn't believe that I had eosinophilic esophagitis last time we did art either.
Just the way you phrased it, I thought that you were joking about it and not
It's a
joking
disease,
about its
Kev.
side effects.
I was joking about both. No, I'm kidding. I do have it. But no, yeah, I remember, and you still do this, which is one of the things that with more money and a little bit more dedication, I would like to do this, but I liked listening to records, and I always liked having them on.
Yeah.
And the basement flooded in our house,
Oh.
and all of the records were on like a lower shelf and like a storagey area because he had put it away. And almost every single one of them was ruined, and
Dang,
the
that
art
sucks.
on all of them was like the actual
Yeah.
like album sleeves. Those were fucked.
Yeah.
But that was a huge bummer because he had all the Beatles albums, and that's where I first was listening to them. He had all the Moody Blues albums.
Oh, nice.
He had a bunch of stuff. Yes, he had a lot of Yes, even though he didn't like him. I think he liked Roundabout, and then I don't think he ever listened to him again. But
Was he the type who liked to have like certain just records for the collection for anyone who's like viewing the collection?
no,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he wasn't he wasn't just making sure his record collection wasn't meat and potatoes.
Yeah, uh-huh.
No, my dad is he's musically even compared to I mean you know me, so you know I get a little bit of this too, but he is musically inept, like 100%. Like you put a song on and you want like even songs that he knows, you're like hum the melody. He's like nothing even close.
Uh-huh.
If I tell him to snap on a beat, nothing.
Yeah.
He can't do it.
Uh-huh.
The only bands that he has ever liked in his life are as follows. The Beatles. I mentioned all these. The Beatles, Moody Blues, Joe Cocker.
Joe Cocker.
And then he kind of liked Yes,
Uh-huh.
but he couldn't tell me why. And he couldn't tell me a song he liked besides Roundabout.
Yeah.
So anytime somebody asked him what music he likes, those were it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't like any of this shit.
Uh-huh.
He did like the Beatles, but other than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. In high school, I've mentioned my high school band before. And
What was their name again?
So we were called the Jersey Seals at first, and it was literally because Aaron read some article about a bunch of seals showing up on the shores of New Jersey, and And Aaron's like, where do these fucking seals come from? They don't belong here. And he's like, oh, that's so deep, and it has a meaning.
It's not deep at all.
Well, the
furthest thing from
idea
deep.
of like
Not belonging.
something
I
not
get
belonging there.
Right.
And so there's a band in Florida that called ourselves the Jersey Seals, and it caused more confusion than anything else. And
did you do a little kiss?
I blew a little kiss in the camera, and now I pulled it into Photoshop, and this is the part where I do.
How do you
the
get it into
coloring.
Photoshop? This is gonna be people are gonna. If anybody ever hears this that knows anything about anything, they're gonna fucking.
I mean,
How do
I
you
should
get a
probably
physical
get a better
copy?
scanner? But I literally just take a picture with my phone, and since it's an iPhone 12, I think it has like a pretty solid camera.
Are you serious? I had no idea that that was a thing.
Yeah. I take a picture with my camera and pull it in, and then I got to I like select using the selector tool. You can select a color from a photo, and it like selects everything that is of that color in the photo.
That's fucking
so I select
crazy.
all the white and delete it. So I get rid of that like kind of grayish paper tone, and am just left with the actual pen drawing.
That's fucking crazy. I had no idea that was even a thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you I know that you were in the middle of a story, but this is frankly more interesting. When you put all the little colors to the side, is that just so you know what you're using, or do you grab them from there?
So I put those colors to the side. I selected those colors from I brought in an actual picture of Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, and then they've got a little eyedropper tool where you can click on a photo or a part in a photo, and it'll give you the exact color on that pixel.
Oh my god, this is blowing my fucking mind.
So I use that to get the color palette for the characters. Because like I mentioned before, getting the color right like goes a long way toward making it more recognizable who it is that you're drawing if you're doing something as absurd as this. So as long as I have that like exact shade of brown and skin tone and red and yellow that shows up in the little bit of clothes they wear, then it makes it a little bit more immediately apparent that this is Donkey Kong.
It is fucking strangely satisfying to see it happening quickly, too. Because when we did this, and you're doing it on paper, I was fucking bored out of my mind. No, I'm kidding. No, but it's so fucking weird. It's like, I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. The color thing is kind of interesting, because I didn't even know that was a possibility.
Yeah.
I thought you were just like fucking blind picking colors and being like, yeah, that looks like Donkey Kong.
I've done it before, but like it's usually better to get as close to the actual color as possible.
Is this the piece
and you can also like, if I take a picture of a piece of paper with a drawing on it and bring it in, I can also just put a layer on top of that. A layer is, you see over here to the right, this little toolbar, all those little layers. So one layer is just the line drawing. Another layer is different colors. And then I'll use another layer to add shading on top of that, etc. So I can stack a layer just on top of the picture of the drawing and color on top of that. And if I set the right blending mode, then it won't just be like a flat on top. But I don't know if any of this is making sense.
It is.
At
Well,
all.
I was laughing because I was laughing at the image of you picking the color of the drool and doing different blues. No, it does make sense. And it's, see, like even this too, like, did you learn this from somebody or did you just figure this all out?
I took a Photoshop class in high school that was the basics, but it was way more focused on actual like photo editing and stuff like that. And I kind of taught myself how to use it for more like artistic purposes.
Right.
And if anyone's an actual designer watching this, they're going to be like screaming because I know there are better ways of doing this. There's a program called Illustrator that is more built for this specifically, but I just never learned how to use it. And honestly,
Because you're too dumb?
Because I'm too lazy. I mean, I doubt it would be that hard since I have familiarity with these programs, but I already know how to do it in Photoshop, and even if it takes longer, there's something that's still satisfying enough about how I do it.
Oh, you gotta get the nip colors.
Yeah, gotta get the nips.
The thing that's funny to me is sitting there and saying that you're too lazy to do something.
But I'll spend 2 hours making this.
That's the fucking conundrum with you that really gets to me. Because it's like, I know me. Like, I know I'm lazy about some things and not about others. Excuse me. I know nobody could see it, but to get that out, Kevin, like, stuck his head forward like a sick duck.
I did have to force it out a little bit.
That's
it wasn't
okay.
ready yet.
It's all right. I know that you can burp more impressively than me. But to say that you're lazy while we're watching this, because this is a 40-minute-ish shot sped up, which meant it took you what to draw this? You said in color, and maybe 2 hours longer.
In total, drawing and coloring took maybe a little over 2 hours.
So that's 2 hours of your life that was dedicated to drawing a Mind Flayer version of Donkey Kong for a thumbnail for a YouTube channel that no one watches.
Yep.
That's not laziness. That's dedication.
Well,
there is no more dedicated than that. You
got a
shaded
point,
the tongue.
I'm more than willing to waste an entire day doing something like this, but when it comes to learning something new or working on my dissertation,
Right.
which I've been blowing off forever, then I'm very lazy.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's what I was telling you before too. Like at work, I was so bored, and I was talking. There was like 2 people, and we were all talking about albums and different albums and different bands. And I was like, "This is the album of the week committee." Like, because I also the other thing that I do at work is I consistently make fun of work terms and all that bullshit. Like I have a email thing that I kept on the side, a note, and it's just all the stupid business jargon that I hear across like the course of a day, and I save it, and I have a running list, so I have stupid business jargon to use. I'll show you next time. But I was like, album of the week committee. Everybody picks an album. Everybody listens to it. You talk like a book club, but for albums. I put secretly so much work into that because I was like, even if we do this for a month, this is more fun than anything else that I should be doing right now.
Yeah.
And nobody even submitted good albums. So I only put in 2. I put in a Midnight album, which I know you haven't really listened to, and a Modest Mouse album. And they were both big hits.
Is that the your proudest accomplishment at work?
Oh my God, by far, yeah. Yeah. My other proudest accomplishment is that this has nothing to do with art, but I guess it's relatively, I mean, it's not even interesting, but so they interview people constantly. And they always do like this fucking stupid ass interview process that has all these like canned interview questions like, how do you deal with problems with other employees? Like shit like that. Things that are meaningless. Things that have canned answers that they want to hear.
Yeah.
So I always, and they've been like, they've stopped inviting me to some of these because they don't want me to ask. Like I'll be like, I'll ask like, what's your favorite restaurant? And they'll be like, what? And I'm like, what's your favorite restaurant? And just ask fucking normal ass questions.
Yeah.
And it always is more interesting for everybody. But that's the thing. I fucking hate my job. Don't make me talk about it. The only thing I want to talk about is my album of the week committee that didn't work and my stupid business jargon. Because then I use it and I'm like, we can circle back on this later.
Oh, circle back on?
Yeah.
Yep. I similarly started a list of things that I heard in academia, in classes, or just in conversation with other academics that, like, there are some phrases that you hear a lot, and then there are some just completely out of nowhere, like, made-up words or terms that you know were made up in a communications paper. Or
I do remember those.
You know exactly what type of language I'm talking
It's
about.
very similar to these, but yeah.
As if like just making up a word that sounds important and smart makes you important and smart.
So let me go ahead. Oh, shit. That's 2-step verification. Fucking 2-step verification. Hold on. Okay. Yes, it's me. I fucking told you it was me. Fuck. I see your coloring. I don't know what else to say about you shading. Other than you should get prints and sell them. Okay. So part of this is not fair because I got it from the internet.
Yeah.
But I don't remember exactly where it started. I don't remember where the internet ones started and the real ones that I heard started. Are you ready for this?
Hit me with them.
So we're already covering art. We covered Photoshop. We taught you how to art. We taught you how to Photoshop.
Yeah.
Now we're going to teach everybody key terms to use in business settings. that are meaningless. So, core competency, that was a good one.
Okay.
Buy-in, as in, I need your buy-in on this, Kev, before we get to this core competency. Empower. We need to empower teams. A lot of moving parts, all right? So we don't want to forget our corporate values, okay? Because we need to have scalable best practices, right? Let's think outside the box, all right? We need to leverage our robust learnings, and we need to reach out. And if we got to punt, we'll punt, and we'll figure out the impact later. This is legitimately what I do. I literally bring this up, and I do this to people. Because I'm like, it's fucking meaningless. Let me hit you. Wait, hold on. Brainstorm. Oh, give 110%. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Is this a value add? Right? We got to get an action plan. We got to get on the same page. We got to streamline our processes.
Yeah.
Okay? And nobody says processes. They say processes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sound more professional.
Right, because I just don't have the bandwidth for this right now. I'd like to circle back if we can. There's just not a lot of nuance in that solution. That's my new favorite. People say nuance about things. Deep dive. Drill down. All right, we're clearly into things that were said to me. Action item, meaning do something. Out of the loop, good one. Pain point, take it offline. What are our peer institutions doing? Circle the wagons. Front/back end, you can use either one of them. They're both meaningless. Top down. A lot on your plate. Low hanging fruit, which is one of my favorite Tenacious D songs. Did you listen to that album, Rise of the Phoenix? Oh, you should. You don't? Do you not like my stupid business jargon? Do you want to talk more about that?
No, I'm enjoying them.
They're almost done.
No, all of them just. They sound like there's so much self-importance in when they're being said, but all of them are like just empty words.
They're actually meaningless. Like, put something on your radar.
Yep.
Every time somebody says, let me put something on your radar, I say, I don't have a radar. What do you want? Pick your brain, piggyback, take the lead. Kev, this is dynamic. Okay, this is a dynamic issue. Business continuity, sub-processes as opposed to normal processes. Put a pin in it. Collaborative. It's a big one. Benchmarks is a new one. That's the latest one. People have been saying benchmarks to me lately, and I don't know what it means. At least I know what the word means, but in the setting that they're using it, it doesn't mean anything. So feel free, Kev, to use any of those in your next business meeting.
Great. Awesome.
I think it'll help you.
It's funny how like performative it is being in that environment.
It is.
Like part of the job is just learning the vocabulary and learning how to talk like a business talk.
90% of, that job, and I'm sure many jobs, is can you pretend enough that you care about, can you pretend to care about what you're doing enough that in mixed company people believe that you care?
Right.
And I can't.
Have you ever seen the show Corporate?
Is that the one that you told me to watch with Adam Scott? No, that's the other one we want to watch.
Severance, and that is a brilliant show.
I want to see that one really bad.
They're both like dark satires of like the corporate workspace, right? Severance is like a heady sci-fi mystery box type show, and Corporate is like a pitch black dark comedy about these two like kind of low-level corporate employees at this gigantic conglomerate. And the show just does such a good job of mocking the absolute banality and meaninglessness of that corporate environment. And I definitely have heard a lot of those buzzwords in the show. I think you'd like it a lot. It's pretty funny. It only ran for 3 seasons on Comedy Central, but it was a great show.
I like any show that reinforces my hatred of work. So I would definitely do it. Kev, that was a great drawing. I'm sorry. We overrode your Donkey Kong drawing.
That's okay.
Was that your favorite drawing?
No.
Was it your second favorite drawing?
I don't know.
What's your favorite drawing? Think about it.
Of the thumbnails that I've done?
Is that easier to answer than of all time?
Yeah.
Yeah, then of the thumbnails you've done.
Of the thumbnails, I'm still very partial to the King Diddy one.
Me too.
That one was great.
I think it might be that one, but I really, really like your Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, that one's good too.
And
those are top
it's
two.
a shame that we used it
Uh-huh.
for Banjo-Kazooie, which was fucking trash.
Well, one of us just needs to play as Banjo-Kazooie in the next Smash.
Well, the other thing I was thinking, and then we'll end this, is I need to buy one of those Nintendo 64 controllers. Because if I do that, like the Nintendo 64 Switch controllers, if I do that, we can play Zelda, we can play Majora's Mask, we can play Banjo-Kazooie.
Donkey Kong?
If it comes out.
We'll play it. I'm going to change your mind on Donkey Kong. You didn't even let me get to why I love this game and to
Go for it. Hit it.
All right, we're just going to throw that Donkey Kong drawing back up there.
And zoom in slowly on it the
Stare
whole
at
time.
a still image while I passionately plead my case.
I
for
will
Donkey
bet
Kong
any
64.
amount of money that you zoom in on the nip.
Well, now I'm not going to do it.
Now
I'm
I know
gonna
you
leave
won't,
that
but I
in.
bet you would have.
I'll either not do it or I'll cut that out and then I'll do it.
Make your case, but here's the thing: you have to make it a PowerPoint.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
No, you. I don't care.
I'll do it. So, Donkey Kong 64.
Donkey Song.
Donkey Song. The Donkey Song.
That's not even funny.
It's pretty funny. Like a rock band version of Donkey Kong.
Make your fucking case.
Okay. All right. Stop distracting me.
I will.
One, the world building and exploration. It's obviously not on the level of something like
Anything.
Breath of the Wild, but it has a surprisingly extensive world and worlds
Sure.
within worlds to
Right.
explore. You know, they got like the ancient Aztec Mayan world,
Yep.
magic cave world.
Yep. I don't remember any of these, but that's
world,
okay.
A haunted evil toy factory world.
Yep.
There's so many fun different environments and stages to play in. Two, the characters that you play as.
You get to be Titty Kong.
You're not stuck just playing as a little tiny twerpy boy with a sword the whole time. You get to rotate between 5 different monkeys who each have unique strengths and weaknesses, and your gameplay has to adapt to those characters.
It's like chess, really.
Yes, it's exactly like chess. It's a very strategic
It's
game.
like chess and Breath of the Wild smashed together from
The
1994.
bosses on each of these stages are a lot of fun, and you have to play as different monkeys each time you fight a boss. So your strategy, it's not just the same, I'm going to swing a sword and then block with my shield on every single boss.
That's not okay.
But rather, your strategy for defeating the bosses is different with every final boss that you face off against.
Look how good this looks.
It looks just as good, if not better, than the
Look at
Magic
that.
Flute of Time.
Look at that. It looks great.
It's great. I spent hours playing this game as a kid. I loved the Kong Battle multiplayer version.
Okay, and here's the thing. That's
siblings
the
and I
only
would-
thing that I played.
Oh, well, you can't criticize the game if that's the only part you've played.
Yeah, but it was so bad that it put such a bad taste in my mouth that I
Maybe
don't
you
care.
played with an idiot who made it a not fun experience for you. But my
Wait.
siblings and I would play it for
Oh,
hours.
okay. Fan
and it was a
art.
blast.
I thought for a second that it was coming to Switch, and that would have been funny. You don't have to be quiet, Louisa. It doesn't matter.
The game starts with a fun little monkey rap, which I know all the words to.
You've covered that, actually.
Yep. Still, to this day, it's burned in my memory. It's got a great soundtrack. It's got imaginatively designed courses and bosses and villains. It's just a fun game.
I'm looking to
makes
see
me
if-
sad that you don't like it.
I'm going to look and see if it's coming to Switch. The iconic ape. The internet people think that it's going to. That's pretty exciting.
Classic.
All right.
But yeah, are you convinced?
Yep. You've convinced me. I think that Donkey Kong is great. 64 is great. I think it doesn't look like shit, and I think it's fun. I think it's like chess
All right, I don't appreciate this
and
anymore.
backgammon and all the great games of history smashed into Breath of the Wild for children in 1996.
Legend of Zelda, I will admit, is a more beloved game, but
Yeah.
I'll give it that. More people like it, but
You're making the face like you're actually mad.
I am mad because it's not as fun. Donkey Kong 64 is a better game. Okay.
Are we in a fight?
If you want to, I'll fight you.
All right, we're in a fight. Bye.
Thank you for watching Von Wolf Brain. This is Stephen Hawking's cousin, Stephen Eaglein. I am just as smart as him and more alive than him, and I watch Von Wolf Brain every day and I love it. Oh god, I love it. Please consume more content. Click here. Or here. Or here. Thank you. I love you. Goodbye. Love. Von Wolf Brain.